Today we'll be making Aleppo soap, one of the most traditional and oldest soaps in the world. It's made from laurelberry oil and pure olive oil. I'm really excited to share this with you. Hi, I'm Sarah from Soap School, and today we are going to be making this beautiful Aleppo soap. So whilst I make it, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this because it's a beautiful heritage soap, and it was one that was used by Cleopatra, and if it's good enough for Cleopatra, it's good enough for me. The origin of Aleppo soap isn't really known, but there have been many claims about its use by Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. We do know that Aleppo was one of the earliest soap producers, and it's been written about from the 8th century AD. It actually became one of the most prized trading commodities for the region, and eventually other countries went on to adopt this style of recipe to their own needs and preferences. The name Aleppo soap is actually classed as a heritage soap, so true Aleppo soap is only made in Aleppo, Syria, and the name is protected. The formula for this highly prized soap is still made today in its original form using that beautiful pure olive oil, laurelberry fruit oil and a lye solution of water mixed with sodium hydroxide, and that mixture is then heated, mixed up and then left to cool in big slabs, often poured straight onto floors before being cut into bars and then often stamped. The soap gets left to age or cure in a shaded area, normally for at least 7 months, and during that time the soap will slowly change from green to its trademark brown or pale golden shade. The Aleppo soap has a really distinctive natural herbal type scent, and it's got an earthy base to it, so it's rarely scented with other types of fragrance oils. Now, the traditional form doesn't really have a bubbly lather, it's more like a lotiony or creamy feeling, and it is deliciously silky. It is just beautiful and it leaves your skin feeling super moisturised. But there are now many modern twists on this style of formulation, with the most popular one being the addition of a little bit of coconut oil to give not only that lovely silky feeling, but also to include the bubbling lather that we get from coconut. And that's what I'm going to be including in this recipe. If you are going to buy true Aleppo soap, you'll find that the amount of laurelberry oil in there really varies quite hugely, and that's partly because of the cost. Traditionally they combine up to 30% laurelberry oil, but more commonly these days, with the prices being so high, it's between 5 and 16%. Now, I can buy olive oil for £3 to £4 a litre, but laurelberry oil is about £75–76 a litre. There's a big difference between the two. And I'll make sure to pop the link to my supplier into the description under the video for you. Now, sadly, although this is a historic soap and it really has been around for such a long time, Syria has been a war-torn country for many years, and I feel it's important to honour and support the historical soaps of our world, and that includes Aleppo. So I think it's important to share the heritage and the traditions of these beautiful ancient crafts, share their story and their history, and help support any remaining producers. Because Aleppo soap has a longer curing time than many soaps, it's traditionally dried in these big piled up stacks that resemble almost like chimneys, so that the air can really circulate through them and dry them out well. And my recipe honours the traditional soap, but with that coconut twist. I do want just that little bit of lather in there. But for the rest of it, I'm keeping it very simple. And you can make your own home-styled Aleppo soap as well, inspired by this heritage and that classic beauty of the laurelberry oil. Now, I'm doing a cold process method, but traditionally this is a hot processed soap. So when you see this on sale, you'll often see it in a much more rustic manner. This cold processing gives it a much smoother finish. Well, we've taken it out of the oven, it's cooked itself out, and we're ready. So let's cut into this. But before we do cut, look at the difference between the two of them. This was the one that we didn't pop in the oven, so it didn't gel, and this was the one that we did allow to gel. And you can see that the gelled one is darker in colour than the ungelled colour. Quite a difference in shade. There we go. Oh, the smell is absolutely lovely. These are slightly bigger bars. And you can see the colour inside. This will go to that kind of more golden colour. It won't stay that colour. And sometimes these can be really vibrant green, but they all settle out to that more muted golden brown over time. And you can see, because we've done cold process, it's a much smoother finish. The ones that they make are very rustic, they're hot processed, and then they stamp the surface of them. Let me know what you think. Let's just do a quick lather test with our little end cut, and you can see that the coconut has given it a nice kind of bubble to it. You can already see that lather developing. Get a little bit there. And you can see it's a beautiful lather already, and I could absolutely develop that further. But that's beautiful and creamy. I still get that silky feel that you get when you're using the laurel berry oil, but I'm also getting some of the bubbles from the coconut. Let me know whether you've made Aleppo soap before, whether you'd like to make Aleppo soap, or whether you've purchased Aleppo soap. I can't wait for you to try this yourself. If you've enjoyed this soap, why not check out our traditional Castile soap? It's an all natural olive oil soap, and I'll link that video at the end for you. Bye bye for now.